Hi, and welcome to Serverless Migration Station, a Serverless Expedition mini-series dedicated to helping developers modernize their apps using the latest features on our serverless compute platforms. Today, Martin and I are hopping back on Porter the Train to continue our journey to migrating to Cloud Memorystore.
That's great, Wes. Last time in Module 12, we added App Engine Memcache to our sample NDB Flask app. What are we doing today?
Glad you asked, Martin. Today we pick up from where Module 12 leaves off, migrating that sample app from App Engine NDB to Cloud NDB and App Engine Memcache to Cloud Memorystore.
And I think I've asked this before, Wes, but isn't that 2 migrations?
That's right, Martin. While we're doing both migrations, we're only focusing on Memcache to Memorystore because NDB to Cloud NDB's migration was already covered in Module 2. Moving from legacy App Engine bundle services like NDB and Memcache to standalone services like Cloud NDB and Cloud Memorystore makes your apps more portable in case you ever need to move your app off of App Engine.
That does make sense. Portable apps means more options for me. Anything else?
Another reason is if your caching needs change. While a simple Memcache service works for you today, your needs may require more advanced features. Redis is a popular backend storage service where, besides caching, it can also serve as your array or hash in the cloud instead of in memory, thus shareable with other apps or services.
Okay, I'm sold. How should I get ready for this migration?
Well, you need a working Module 12 app, either in Python 2 or 3, so you have 3 options here. Grab yours from when you did Module 12's code lab, do the Module 12 code lab now, or clone the repo or download the zip file and pick one of the Module 12 folders to start.
Sounds good, Wes. I was able to find my Module 12 code here, and I'm ready to tackle it now.
Great. Now let's talk about what we're doing. As you know, this app caches the most recent visits for the same visitor, while we're keeping that functionality, but moving it to caching with Cloud Memorystore. Since it's a standalone product and not serverless, we have to do a bit more setup, meaning that it's not just about updating the code.
Since there are extra steps here, I'd like to follow along while you are explaining it. Can you link me to the code lab?
Yep, the link to the code lab is here and down below, so you can take it step by step and pause the video if needed. Okay, let's go to the computer now. Okay, we'll start with the code first, then talk about setting up a Memorystore instance plus a VPC connector. If you have a lib folder, delete it. Python 2 users need to explicitly bundle third-party libraries, and that's what the lib folder is for. So run this pip install command to create or recreate it. This is done for Python 3 users during the build, so you don't have to worry about it. Everyone then should run gcloud app deploy and confirm the deploy app caches the most recent visits. You can tell it's cached when the first request takes a little bit of time, but subsequent page reloads are much quicker because they're coming from the cache rather than from Datastore. Now, let's update the config files, starting with adding a few more third-party packages to requirements.txt. Module 12 only needed Flask, but now we need to add Google Cloud NDB. One of the benefits for using Cloud Memorystore for Redis is that you only need the standard Redis Python client, so let's add that too. Use of cloud libraries like Cloud NDB in Python 2 requires a pair of built-in libraries we'll add to app.yaml in a moment. And anytime built-in libraries are used, App Engine config needs to point your app to them. So we're also adding these same lines to Module 2. Python 3 users don't have to lift a finger as App Engine config isn't even used in Python 3. Now it's time to add 2 or 3 new sections to the Module 12 app.yaml. Python 2 users need to add a libraries section specifying gRPC-IO and setup tools, which are the libraries required to use cloud libraries corresponding to the updates we just made to App Engine config. All other changes apply to both Python 2 and 3, starting with a pair of environment variables for Cloud Memorystore, the private IP address and port number of your instance. And the last new section is for the VPC connector your App Engine app needs to communicate with your Cloud Memorystore instance. Required fields highlighted are the project ID, region, and VPC connector name. At this point, none of the info for these 2 sections is available yet, so leave them as placeholders for now. That's it for config. Let's move to main.py. To read environment variables, we need the OS module. Since Redis can only cache strings instead of Python objects, we need to marshal the most recent visits using pickle. Wrapping up the import changes, swap out App Engine NDB and Memcache for Cloud NDB and Redis. Next, you need an API client, so instantiate it right after Flask. Now we need to read the managed Redis host and port number from the environment variables that will be set in app.yaml. With both pieces, we can instantiate Redis next. That's it as far as setup goes. Now, moving into the real code, Module 2 covers how Cloud NDB is mostly compatible with App Engine NDB, and that it just needs with blocks around all of the Datastore calls, here being in both store visit and fetch visits. The remaining updates merely swap out Memcache for Redis. One additional change required is that Redis requires a string, so we now pickle the most recent visits list when setting and unpickling it when getting. Everything else stays the same. Okay, so those are all the changes to the code. Before going back to the main presentation and discuss how to set up VPC and Memorystore, we're not going to walk through the full set of instructions to help set up the Memorystore instance and VPC connector because that's covered in detail in the code lab. What I do want to show are the basic steps you need to get Memorystore working for your app. Okay, first things first, what do you really need? Two things, a Cloud Memorystore instance and a Serverless VPC connector. The most important thing is that neither are free, so be prepared. I will try to help you minimize costs though. Beyond that, it doesn't matter which you create first, because if you create the Memorystore instance first, your App Engine app can't reach it without a Serverless VPC connector. And if you make the VPC connector first, there's nothing on that VPC for your App Engine app to talk to, so nope, it doesn't matter. The most important thing is to create both in the same region as your App Engine app. We'll also give you a link here and down below to the docs page representing the steps we're going to follow now. I'm doing Cloud Memorystore first, so go to the Cloud Memorystore for Redis page in the Cloud Console, enable it and add billing if necessary, then click on Create Instance at the top. Our sample app has minimal needs and there are lots of settings, so to keep the costs down, we recommend the lowest service tier, Basic, and a minimal 1 gig capacity, unlike the 16 you're presented with. No suggestions on which version of Redis to choose though, although I usually don't pick the newest one, as older versions typically use less resources, so perhaps Redis version 5. Anyway, once it's created, note its IP address and port number. Similar to Memorystore, our sample app only needs a bare bones VPC service. To do this, go to the Serverless VPC page in the Cloud Console. Like Memorystore, enable that service here and add billing if necessary. Once you do that, you'll be at the dashboard. From there, click on Create Connector at the top. You can't select less than 2 instances, but instead of the default of 10 maximum, crank that down to 3. Also, the default E2 micro instances cost more than the F1 micro types, which give only 1 vCPU access instead of 2, so pick that. Lastly, you do need to specify an IPv4/28 CIDR block, which gives you 16 addresses to work with. The Cloud Console suggests 10.8.0.0/28, so use that or the first unused /28 block available in your project. While using the Cloud Console gives you a great user experience showing you all of your available options, I'm really a command line guy and already know what I want. So instead of fiddling with the UI, I can create both the Memorystore instance and the VPC connector with these 2 gcloud commands, assuming that my App Engine app is in the US Central or Central 1 region, naming them Demo MS and Demo VPC respectively. And I've chosen the minimal settings described earlier. You can run both at the same time because they both take a couple of minutes each. After completion, I can run this other pair of commands to confirm that both Demo MS and Demo VPC are online. Whether through the Cloud Console or using the gcloud command, copy the host and port number of your Memorystore instance into app.yaml, and then grab the VPC connector name and add that to its entry in app.yaml along with your project name and region. Once those resources have been created, your app should have a caching service available to it, so let's deploy. Python 2 users should redo their lib folder, and everyone can then run gcloud app deploy. Once it's live, you should have an identically working app caching the most recent visits for the same visitor. Congrats! Before going back to the main presentation, a few words about upgrading to Python 3. This app is already Python 2.3 compatible, so there are no changes at all to main.py. Neither App Engine config.py nor the lib folder are used in Python 3, so delete them. The only file requiring an update is app.yaml. Change your runtime to the latest Python 3 release and remove the thread safe and API version directives, as neither are used in Python 3 either. Our sample app doesn't have static files, so delete the entire handler section. There are no longer built-in third-party libraries, so delete the entire library section. What's left? The runtime, your Memorystore instance information, and the VPC connector information. Now your app is ported to Python 3. Again, there is no pip install, so just gcloud apt deploy, and that's it for Module 13. So let's wrap up.
Cool. Thanks for showing us that, Wes. I like how similar Redis and Memcache are. Is there a guide to help me get a better grasp of migrating App Engine Memcache to Cloud Memorystore?
Oh, definitely. The first link goes to a specific migration guide for moving from App Engine Memcache to Cloud Memorystore.
And while we're at it, can you also point me to the docs for the original App Engine Memcache, as well as the Cloud Memorystore for Redis?
Yep, and both of those are also linked down below.
Great! I found this Memcache migration very useful. Are there any others I should consider?
Sure, plenty, Martin. We also moved from App Engine NDB to Cloud NDB. To get more details on that migration, check out the Module 2 Code Lab and video. Another migration is moving from App Engine push tasks to Cloud tasks. That's covered in Modules 7, 8, and 9. For moving from App Engine Blob Store to Google Cloud Storage, see Modules 15 and 16. If your App Engine app is made up of 1 or 2 functions, consider migrating it to Cloud Functions, and for that, see Module 11. Finally, if containerization is part of your software development workflow, consider moving your App Engine app to Cloud Run. See Module 4 if you're familiar with Docker, and Module 5 if you don't do containers or Docker files.
Wow, so many choices. Thanks for helping App Engine developers modernize their apps, Wes.
Yep, and thanks, Martin, for coming along the ride on our little friend Porter for each of these journeys. And we look forward to having you join us at another migration station or on another serverless expedition soon. Happy travels!